Hi, I'm bi. How many times can I start a video with that line before it gets annoying? Probably none. Probably it's too late. I asked on social media for some LGBT-related questions, and I'm going to answer most of those questions in a later video, because as I was writing the script, there was one question type that stood out to me. Should I come out? Hi, I'm Bob. I'm bi, but I'm dating a woman. Should I come out? Hi, I'm Barbara. I'm not totally sure about my sexuality. Should I come out? Hi, I'm George. I'm straight and cis and in no way queer, but I want to get YouTube views with a clickbaity title and thumbnail. Should I come out? No, George, you should not. But Barbara and Bob, let's chat. The first point that I want to be very clear about is that there is no obligation to come out. Nobody has an obligation to come out, and especially if you're in a situation in which coming out would be unsafe, you should never feel like you have to. You do not have to. But if you do feel safe, coming out is great. I'm a fan. I do it all the time. Hey, how are you? Gay. No, like, how have you been doing? Gay. Like, what's going on in your life? Gay. What's up? Gay. It's true! I think what these questions point to is a view of coming out as being about practicality, which it certainly is to an extent. You can date people, or that's what I've heard anyway. As my blog, teoslovelife.tumblr.com can verify, I haven't personally experienced dating or relationships or friendships or life outside of YouTube, but that's good for some people, I'm sure. Now Bob, our bi guy dating a woman, is not going to have that practical benefit. He's already in a relationship. Barbara, our confused person, might have that practical benefit, or she might not. Maybe she's asexual or aromantic. Maybe she's just not looking for a relationship right now. We don't know. We don't know Barbara. I do, in fact, know Barbara because she's a fictional character of my own creation. I am in control. The puppet moves when I pull her strings. But there's more to coming out than practicality. First of all, it's helpful to society. With Bob, there are a lot of closeted bi guys, which contributes to the idea that bi guys don't exist. With Barbara, I think it's beneficial for people to see that it's okay to be confused or questioning. In general, having more out queer people is a positive thing. There's strength in numbers. Specifically big numbers. Smaller numbers not as much. That said, coming out should not be for other people. It should be for yourself. I didn't know when I started coming out to people how comforting I would find it, but I quickly realized that I felt more comfortable with the people I had come out to than I did with really anybody else. That vulnerability is hard, but it's helpful and it's comforting. Allowing other people to know you is comforting. I think there's a problem in how a lot of people view coming out because it's seen as an event, as a declaration, and it doesn't have to be that. It can be a conversation. It can be with one person rather than publicly, and you can be confused. I was confused when I came out. I said a lot of "I'm bi-ish" and "I'm bi" or something along those lines. I wasn't sure. I'm still not totally sure. Like, I'm queer, I know that, I'm comfortable identifying as queer. But there's fuzziness in the specifics. There's nuance, and I don't totally get it. And I think it's helpful for me to be able to say that. I think it's helpful for me to talk about that. So Barbara and Bob, and maybe even some other people who are not fictional characters of my own creation, there is no obligation to come out. If it's unsafe, it might be a good idea not to. But if it is safe, I think it could be helpful to have these kinds of conversations. And they can be just that. Conversations. Your identity doesn't have to be an event. It can be a process. Thank you for watching. I said on Twitter that it was the last chance to ask me LGBT-related questions. Turns out, I lied. So if you have some questions, you can leave them for me down in the comments, and I will answer those soon. And I sort of stopped making jokes halfway through this video. This is a comedy channel. Haha, so funny. You just can't keep a straight face.
Maybe I should kiss you when we go out to dinner, and maybe I should kiss you every night before I fall asleep, and maybe I should kiss you at the rest stop off the interstate on the border of Georgia